With ISIS brutally murdering hostages and after the Charlie Hebdo killings, terrorism has become a front-burner issue on TV, online, and on the front pages. In an interview with the liberal website Vox.com, President Obama was asked about the coverage.
Do you think the media sometimes overstates the sort of level of alarm people should have about terrorism and this kind of chaos?
I don't blame the media for that. You know, what's the famous saying about local newscasts, right? If it bleeds, it leads, right? You show crime stories and you show fires, because that's what folks watch.
But are the media the problem? Joining us now, Amy Holmes, who anchors the Hot List at The Blaze, and Mark Hanna, Ph.D. fellow at USC Annenberg, who worked for Barack Obama's 2008 campaign. Amy, is the president, if not blaming the media, is he at least faulting the media for terror coverage, or is he acknowledging reality?
Well, he's actually blaming the viewer in saying that, you know, we have this attraction to fires and mayhem and blood and gore. I was really shocked by the statement because the president gets his daily briefing of the terrorist threat assessment. And if what he is reading is less concerning than what we're seeing on the television, he should tell us.
Conservative pundits really jumped on the president over that one line.
No kidding. They're not acknowledging the fact that he said, I don't blame the media. But this saying that if it bleeds, it leads, it didn't come from the president. It didn't come from politicians. This comes from news executives themselves. And there's a certain logic in it. In a commercial media environment, there's a competitive pressure to try to show things that people actually care about. And people actually care about terrorism. They don't care about some obscure, arcane, esoteric issue. They care about things that are of a general interest. They care about things, you know, we've experienced terrorism in this country communally. And so this is something that everybody has an interest in. And frankly,
so basically the president, what you're saying is that the president is understating the case. He is saying that there is an overemphasis on what is a real concern to most Americans.
I think the president says terrorism is something where there's clear good guys, clear bad guys. It fits a media narrative really well. It's designed to be spectacular. It's designed to be this visual experience of violence that people are going to, you know, fear. And so what the media does is, of course, it's going to play things that are polygenic.
But he said
it leads is about local news. But, you know, when ISIS is beheading hostages and setting them on fire, I mean, how could that not get a lot of coverage? And there was another point the president went on to make, we don't have time to show it, saying what doesn't get a lot of coverage are incremental stories like climate change because they're not considered sexy.
Sure. But the president, it's absolutely fair. Things that people have a hard time making sense of it. I just want to point out, though, that this isn't necessarily a bad thing when extremism, whether it's Islamic extremism or extremely polarized or extremely partisan sound bites get covered, when anything extreme gets covered, this has a moderating influence. This has a moderating effect so that extreme acts of heroism, extreme acts of valor are covered as well. And
Mark,
so it's good to see things
different from what the president said. What the president said is that the media is exaggerating these stories because of its visual impact and because viewers have this morbid obsession with violence.
He didn't say morbid obsession. He did use the word ratings. All right.